everyone. In this video, I'm going to be taking on a new creative challenge. I'm going to be designing and painting a disco cowgirl themed birthday banner from scratch. So a little backstory, someone that I know reached out and asked if I could make a banner for her daughter's 7th birthday party. And the thing is, I've been asked to do this kind of thing before, but I've always been afraid to say yes. Something about committing to creating something so specific, so personal, and so open to judgment.
That painting is bad.
Or scrutiny. I don't know. It just makes me really anxious, so this time I decided to finally just try it. So I was ready to walk out the door and go to the store to find some of this brown construction paper for the banner. And I called my husband and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to the store and buy this paper. And he was like, wait, hold up. He was like, go in my office and go in the closet and find what you need right there. I was like, what the heck? What do you mean? A full roll. I forgot we had a whole roll from when we painted the house. We had to put stuff on the floor so it wouldn't get dirty. But here it is, a whole roll of this construction paper. So I can try so many times. I'm gonna be using my projector, a few of these Sharpie acrylic paint markers. Definitely gonna need some tape. I actually just got this little pegboard from IKEA. I think it's so cute. Haven't filled it up yet, but it'll get there. Tape. I have some paint brushes in here. This jumbo pencil so I can trace out. I didn't have any more space in my office, so I'm gonna be using this wall in our living room. I'm gonna measure out about 5 feet just because that was kind of what they imagined would be the best size. And I agree. That's about 5 feet right there. I don't know how to mark it. Maybe. Did not think this through. Oh my God. Oh. So somewhere like that. Okay, whatever. So I made a mark here and I made a mark here. So I have to start somewhere here because this is nasty. I'm gonna cut the ugly part out. Ah. Okay. 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 Yay! Oh, that is not straight at all. How do I straighten it? Maybe. Damn it! I ripped it! Not cool, man. Just have to be really careful when I'm removing this because I don't want it to rip anymore. It's a tiny rip. I could just put tape on the back side. So with the banner finally up on the wall, I can now work on what I'm going to paint on it. Here I'm using Procreate to import the invitation picture that I was sent for this project. And I really like this little hat, so I'm thinking of isolating it. And since it's disco cowgirl themed, I also downloaded this clip art PNG disco ball from Google Images. And I placed the little hat on the disco ball. I think it looks really cute. So now I just need the lettering and I can begin to use my projector to trace out this little design. Alright, so we're up on the wall. Now I can begin to trace out the design. This part was a little time consuming and a bit of an arm workout, but I was able to get through it eventually. And honestly, being my first ever birthday banner, I wasn't sure how it was going to come together in the end. I was quite careless with the placement of the lettering, the placement of the different elements like the cowgirl hat disco ball thing. But as I've mentioned before on my channel, I want nothing more than to explore my art and to explore my creativity and everything that makes me feel curious and alive. So regardless of how this turns out, I am just happy to be able to give it a shot and show you all my process in the process. When it came to painting the little squares of the disco ball, I opted for markers because I felt like the pink base paint was a little too thick already. And then, I was so bummed when my Posca marker started bleeding. I almost quit right then and there, but I just had to clean it up and move on. The rest of filling up the squares and adding stars to the hat went really smoothly, and I just had to re-outline in black to clean it up. Also, I felt like this side of the banner was a little bit too empty, so I found this clip art of some pink boots and I traced and painted them on. The last thing to add to this banner was small details like flowers, sparkles, and hearts, and voila! Here is the final look. My first ever birthday banner completed. It is definitely very girly, very cowgirl, very young girl vibes. I don't know. I feel like it looks like a 10-year-old made this, honestly. I'm sure I'll get better, but at least I know what it takes now, and moving forward, I can get more detailed. I can experiment with different paint types, different styles, and different themes. But yeah. Oh, so the very, very last thing to do is, since I'm going to be mailing this banner, I have to package it up, and that means that I have to cut off the excess on the sides and make sure that they're straight. I didn't have a tube mailer, so I kind of had to create my own. So I rolled up the banner, and instead of using tape, I tied some ribbon on it because I didn't want it to get damaged or to rip again. And I found this old IKEA box that was the perfect length for my banner. I set it on the table and I cut it open with my knife here, and then I scored it so that it would be easier to bend. And I just repeated this process until I created a triangular container for the banner. I also made sure to wrap the banner in some trash bags to protect it from any potential water damage. And then I taped it up and I ran out of tape. But I remembered that I have a $10 coupon from Michael's, so I took advantage and I set out to go get some tape. I love Michael's. They had all their Christmas decor stuff out and it was so pretty. I wish I could get it all, but I'm trying to save money, so I didn't get anything else. Finally found the tapes, and oh my gosh, why is tape so expensive? This one I ended up getting was $14, but I got so lucky with my discount, and then with the 30% off coupon that Michael's has, I only ended up paying 53 cents. I felt so cool. Anyway, I finished taping the package and shipping was $15 to mail the banner, and I actually ended up not charging this person for the banner. I felt kind of bad doing so since it was my first banner, and I wasn't too satisfied with it, if I'm being honest. So I just asked her to pay for shipping, and I asked her if she wanted to tip me anything. Whatever she wants, I'll take it. Oh my gosh, this is turning into a long story time, but yeah, I hope you all liked this video and my process. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see my next projects. Bye!